Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video. And today I picked up a few more items from Pixel Heart recently that I wanted to show you guys. Now Pixel Heart, I've talked about them a lot in previous videos, and they have a lot of like select titles, also albums, and like pretty much something for every system. I would say they really focus on a lot of like old school type games on modern platforms, which is really nice. But I want to show you some cool stuff I got from them today, so let's take a look. So the first thing I got was this Wallachia of vinyl. You know, I have started to dip my toe in vinyl soundtracks. You know, I feel like, I don't know, they're just something very unique and very nostalgic, I would say. You know, easily you get a CD, but vinyl is just something, I don't know, there's just something about like having a record player to me. But I got this soundtrack. It is a 2-album soundtrack. The music in this game is phenomenal, and at least it is to me, and I think you guys will like it too. To see like Pixel Heart like putting out albums and stuff like that is just like really something unique. And I know other companies have done it as well, but still, man, like Pixel Heart, their selection of certain games they make physical to me really stands out. Not only did this whole album collection impress me, but the way they set it up, how I thought there was gonna be 2 separate albums in 2 different cases, but it's all in one, and it folds out, and it talks about the game's story as well. And also, you get a greeting from the composer in here as well. Now, when it comes to vinyl, I'm very cautious to be careful with it, because I remember when I was a kid, I actually broke one of my dad's albums, and he was pissed, you know, and I was like, man, I just never want to touch that stuff again. But still, you just gotta be very careful with it, you know, be careful as much as you can. But anyways, going back to this, I love how the album looks and how it has that reddish and black in it. I think that's just really cool how they did that. You know, it's just not like a regular black album. It's something unique to it, I would say. So very impressive with that. I also got a limited printed artwork card with it. I think I'm gonna probably put this in some kind of like acrylic case, you know, and everything. I'm not really sure just yet, but I thought these were really cool. You know, I usually don't look at these, but only 250 made, and I really like this game. So when I really like a game, I'll usually kind of go all out for it. You know, definitely support the people who put it together. So happy to have this. And of course, I had to get the CD soundtrack as well. You know what's funny? Though I like CD soundtracks, the only CD player I really have, well, that I only use is in my car, which is pretty hilarious. But you get a 2-disc soundtrack with this. Very well put together. I love the art that they added to the CD here. Definitely something like just really cool to have, I would say. You open it up here. Yeah, this art is, man, this is outstanding. You know, I love this type of stuff. But what do you guys prefer to hear to have your soundtracks on? CD or vinyl? Yeah, let me know in the comments, because I'm interested in knowing your opinions. So pretty much here is my Wallachia collection. And here's the Wallachia collection here. Most of the stuff comes from Pixel Heart themselves. The American version of Wallachia comes from Video Games New York. But anyways, guys, let's take a look at the game itself. Here's Wallachia, Reign of Dracula for the PlayStation 4 system. Pretty much, this game really feels like a throwback to the old school Castlevania games. Not the Metroidvania ones, but the more level-based ones. I would say this game is more of a run-and-gun type because of your main weapon is a bow and arrow, which you get upgrades with. You also have a side weapon, which is a sword. I feel like this game more focuses on like range combat, but if you're good enough, you can use a sword to deflect attacks and get close to enemies, of course. I just use it as a last resort. But depending on how skilled you are, that's going to be how effective that weapon is for you. You can tell that the people that created this game are big fans of the Castlevania series. It has an awesome soundtrack, and each level has a cool boss fight. It has little story tidbits too that kind of like help the story along as well. So definitely, if you're a Castlevania fan, definitely pick this one up.
I'll have you in pieces!
Bang Bang Busters for the Sega Dreamcast. Now, I talked about this game years ago, and the game originally, I think it originally came out in 2010, but I feel like it came out before that time. But this is a platform arcade game where you clear out enemies on the screen, very similar to games like Bubble Bobble, Snow Bros, and other games like that, I would say. I feel after playing this game and beating it, it is a true hidden gem. You know, not a lot of people know about it, and for good reason. It's only on certain consoles. It's on the Dreamcast, Neo Geo CD, Neo Geo AES, and MVS, I believe, as well. So a lot of people didn't really know about this one, but hopefully this game will get a more, I would say, modern release, maybe on like current consoles, even as a digital download, so people could find out about it, because I think it's a really good game. Now, it's not a long game if you know what you're doing. It probably take you about, like, I would say 40 minutes to beat the game if you know what you're doing, if you play properly. Because you got to remember, it is an arcade type game, and those are kind of meant to be short and sweet. So definitely just have that in mind. But also, too, the game is nice to look at. It has good music. It controls well, and it's a lot of fun. Though very short if you get through, if you know how to play the game. More than likely, most of you guys will probably pick up the Dreamcast version. So, yeah, I would say that's the more common version of the game to get, especially for the price it's going for. But anyways, guys, check this one out and let me know what you think about it. Golden Forest is a very unique game. I've talked about this game briefly on the channel before, and this is what you would call a beat-em-up platform type game. It reminds me a lot of the Shantae games, if the Shantae games were like arcade beat-em-up types. Now, you play as 4 mercenaries that are trying to take back this island with a bunch of gold like treasures and things like that. Now, you have 4 playable characters you could choose from, but I usually go with the quicker, like more agile characters just to kind of get a feel for things. And I do like the platforming, I do like the beat 'em up in this game. I think all are really fun. It's just that I felt like the control was a little bit floaty when it comes to the jumping, but maybe that's just a part of the mechanic, because the game really wants you to like do like lots of combinations to earn rewards, to buy upgrades and things like that. So maybe that's just a gimmick for the game. I'll just have it's something for me to get used to. But as I was going through the game, I was kind of like losing my pacing, missing certain jumps that I would usually make in other games. But just something I have to get used to. For those of you that like pixelated graphics, I think this game is right up your alley. A lot of the environments are really good looking and very impressive, you know, for this game, I would say. The music and sound effects really fit the game's atmosphere, I would say. The music definitely has this, I don't know, this has this like adventure feel to it. It'll pretty much get you pumped up to play. They definitely did a good job on the soundtrack here, I would say. Now, controls, I already talked about the controls a little bit. They were just a little bit floaty for me, but I think overall most people will like them. Now, as far as how fun this game is, it's a lot of fun, especially once you get used to things. But the whole thing with the co-op mode, you know, this game will really like just stand out with the co-op mode. And unfortunately, there's no online. So unless that share play stuff still works, I'm not really sure. But other than that, Golden Forest is definitely worth your time, I would say. Lots going on here. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, you have a world map on this game where you go pretty much unlock the levels. You can always go back throughout the levels and repeat them if you want to. Usually the levels will have like 4 to 5 stages on them with a boss battle included. But they have collectibles as well that you might want to go back and get. So pretty cool stuff. But once you open the map, everything looks great, I want to say. But anyways, guys, keep this one on your radar. It's a pretty solid game. Also, too, before we go, I want to show you the collector's edition of Golden Forest here. It actually comes with a steel book with an insignia inside of it, which I thought was actually pretty cool. Usually I would want this stuff to come with a soundtrack, which I kind of still do want this to come with a soundtrack. But the steel book and the insignia actually make up for it, so I'm pretty happy with this. Here's a quick close look at the back of the steel book as well, one of the main characters for Golden Forest. I think this actually just looks really good, guys. So Pixel Heart, you've done a good job. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I will have links in the description with my coupon code if you guys want to pick any of this stuff up. Also, let me know how you guys feel about me getting into vinyl. You know, is this going to be extreme? I mean, I feel like there's only a couple I went out there, but who knows, man? Like, when you see certain stuff, you just, I don't know, man. You'll just, like, want to get it. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Radical Reggie, and I will see you all later.